Hello viewers, Super GT here. Welcome back to Forza Motorsport 7. I'm going to be joining the good old cycle production hopper. What a lobby this is. Absolutely loving it. And as two are some of the big names in the community. With the likes of JSR Rossi in here. Some big players. We're going to try to do our best to take them down. And apologies if it sounds like I'm commentating out of my nose. Well, I am, basically, because I've got a cold. Anyway, okay, first race up, VIR, as per, you know, it's always got to come up at some point. So let's get out of the way nice and early. In the 4GT, lovely car this. And we've actually had a really lovely start, going immediately up into 4th place. Now the thing you have to really consider in cycle production is the fact that the cars they're all stock, which makes them drive rather differently than obviously a tuned up car. Not much grip, not much braking power. You do really have to drive these in quite a different way than you would a grippy monster that you've tuned up. So just up ahead we've got Racers 55, so you may recognise the name, F4H Racers, Veloce Racers as he was formerly known. And yeah, he's a lone ranger at the moment. He's not part of a team. As around the outside, Noob Supremo onto the grass, having a trek around Oak Tree Corner and losing a big chunk of time to my opponents. Not ideal situation. And well, actually at this point here, finding myself in the gulf between the top players at the front. Racers now up into the lead with Quattro just behind him. And I've got JSR Rossi a couple of 100 feet behind me. So this is where hopefully I can begin to move forwards, but undoubtedly the king of hoppers, JSR Rossi, he's going to start catching at some point. As we come down into the final little complex here. So Quattro there on the tail of Racers. Once Racers in the lead, it's going to be very hard to beat him. One of the absolute best players in the world. Except for Super GT, obviously. Now coming through the S's, these are difficult corners at the best of times, and in a stock 4GT, which handles like a battleship, it's going to be even more difficult. And Noob Supremo proving the handling credentials of the car by driving straight onto the grass, and I've almost, well, kind of half done the same. Around the outside, going to keep the position and begin to pull away with JSR Rossi there threatening to overtake. So at this point here, Racers definitely pulling away. Quattro now vulnerable. This is the beginning of lap 3, so just beyond halfway into this race. Now JSR Rossi with the proximity arrow. The threat is looming, and Quattro's driven wide. The pressure of Super GT, knowing that he's going to be on a video, and he's absolutely bottled it. And I'm through into second with, let's say, 1 3/4 laps remaining. Taking plenty of grass, maybe too much. Ban this guy. Okay, got JSR Rossi still in our tail. Proximity arrow is definitely right there. And proximity arrow, you know, it's mostly very helpful because, you know, as I take more grass, because you know when you're about to get hit. But when you've got someone really quick on your tail, it can be distracting because you're trying to focus on your driving, but they're kind of just, they're right there, and it's the game's telling you that they're right there, and they can put the pressure on. And I try to go around the outside. There was space left. This is the thing about the top players; they will leave you space, but only literally a millimetre enough space. So hard-fought racing here. Going to lunge up the inside into the chicane. I had to go for it. Had to try it. And it didn't quite pay off, as then Rossi and Quattro go back past. So I'm down to 4th. Disappointing. 2nd to 4th there in one fell swoop. Final chicane then, and Quattro's drifting wide. Rossi's going to take advantage. Go up into 2nd, sliding through the turn though. Quattro up the inside. I'm on the outside, across the grass. I've spent more time being a lawnmower today than actually driving on the tarmac. Down into turn 1, I've got Rossi hemmed in on the inside. Can I go round the long way round? Around Quattro as well. Sensational move. Not completed. So I stay 4th. Now with Noob Supremo actually with the proximity arrow behind, as we've been fighting way too much, looking up the inside. Imp's sign kills me, and my momentum have to settle for 4th. We can keep the pressure on. Quattro there, sitting pretty in 2nd, but he's got more than a, or not more than that, less than a lap now, more than half a lap, should we say, to fend off JSR Rossi, Super GT and Noob Supremo. Can he get it done as we come up into the S's? Probably the most difficult sequence of corners to get right here. Really, really difficult. Just abuse the grass. That's my method. Rossi's binned himself. He's gone wide, back into a podium position. It's not often you get to say that you've beat JSR Rossi on merit, but I have today. Actually, I haven't, because the race isn't over yet. I could easily bottle it from here to the end, as we have a tricky chicane and then the tricky final chicane as well. 2 tricky chicanes here to round out the lap. I'm looking for a mistake from Quattro, and I might be able to get 2nd. Let's see if it happens. Trying to pressure him into some sort of mistake, but it looks like it's going to be an F4H123 if you include former members. Of course, Racers was part of F4H for a long time. Crossed the line, finished 3rd. Not a bad result to kick things off. Couldn't quite roll my car though, so I'm not good at that.
Been watching you for a few months. Can't believe I'm in the same room as you. Hope I make it into one of your videos. Take care.
Nice little voice message there, and yes, you made it into the video, mate. Well done. Let's see how we can do around Road America then in the Audi R8 LMS Ultra R-Class for you now. Starting 5th on the grid. So of course, everyone in the same car, it makes things even, obviously. But then it can make things very difficult because everyone's so equal in terms of ability sometimes. And you really do have to rely on mistakes to get past, or just go for savage dive bombs. That's one of the 2. Those are basically your 2 options when it comes to stock car racing. So through turn number, what even is that, turn 3, 4? I call it 3, but I think it officially might be 4. Dane's up the inside, bit of contact. Thanking the new collision model for saving me there. And you see the gap there. I dropped off the top 4. Really not a good lap. Slow to adapt, and you do need to be adapting very quickly in this hopper. I think having the braking line on definitely helps. Obviously, you're not going to know all the braking points in different cars. As Noob Supremo goes wide, up into 4th. Can we now put the pressure on onto Quattro with 1 lap remaining? Just 3 laps to do here into turn 1. Let's see if we can do it. Braking between the 3 and the 4 board, normally a good braking point. Picking up the apex and actually sliding through the turn, losing a bit of momentum. This is the end of the lap though, the end of the race as well. Coming into the dog leg right, very close indeed. But we are again relying on that mistake from Quattro. Is it going to come? We were in a similar position in the last race. I've gone actually a little bit too wide, and he's covered the inside. I may well have gone for a savage dive bomb there, but he's covered me off through the final turn. The slipstream is not going to be enough. It's not strong enough on this game. But he's going to slow down a little bit. But I'm just going to try and spin him out over the line. Didn't work. Okay, okay, here we go. This is where the real banter begins in the P-class car around Nordschleife. This is where the fun really begins. Okay, then off the line we go. Starting 5th once again. We've got another big name here, Williams Mitch, on pole position, 3rd place in this year's Forza Racing Championship. All 3 tournaments. London, the World Finals, Mexico, and then Seattle finished 3rd in all 3 of them. So, 3rd best player in the world. Let's see if we can do anything about beating him. Probably not, because I'm way back here and he's way up there and he's better than me, so probably not going to happen. All I can do though is try to fight past this big bunch of angry people in front of me. So Racer's there up into 3rd, he can give a challenge, and then in 2nd I think that's Force 1, so all top level FRC players there. And this is where they all seem to hang out these days. If you want a good challenge, join this hopper. This is where the good players hang out. Plus Super GT, he's not a good player. Up the inside, as we go into the Nordschleife loop, in 8th position, a big group here. And of course we know how hard it is to overtake. And you're waiting for the mistake. There's a mistake from the Polish driver. And as he rejoins some contact, and I managed to get back onto the circuit just in time before getting passed by about 18 people. So now in 7th, just trying to keep it nice and tidy. It's one of those circuits where really you're kind of waiting for those mistakes, very much so. In this hopper you typically wait for mistakes, but especially around this track because it's just so hard to overtake. And given that we're all in the same cars, you can't outbrake people because you all have the same braking performance. Quattro and Master Phil with an altercation. Quattro on the losing end of that battle, and I'm up into 6th place. Good stuff. Now I'm going to use a cheeky wall ride here, obviously accidental, or was it? I don't know. Coming through down the hill and then back up this hill. Dane's all a little bit wide, and I wasn't quite able to get past him here as he recovered. But then why go for the pass there when you can do savage stuff at the carousel, you know? So as we come through here, he covers the inside line on the left, and it doesn't really give me much option other than just to go for this move.
Peggy 18.
Beautiful stuff. Oh, I got slowed down by the wall. In fact, no, there was no wall. You didn't see anything there, guys. Nothing happened. So let's just continue and pretend that nothing happened. And so Masterville up into 4th. Dane's all now 5th. I'm in 6th place still. Quattro just behind. And well, there's still potential here for things to happen. Actually, there it does. Dane's will goes wide. And then I'm going wide now into the wall. And back into 6th. I can't stay out of 6th place for too long. I'm like a shark who needs to be moving. Is that even true? I don't know. But if I'm out of 6th place for too long, I die. Just like a shark dies if it doesn't move. If that's true. I don't know. I've never asked the shark if that's true. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. If you've asked the shark and got some feedback, let me know. Okay, so we're going to vote for the next track. And whoa, hold up. That moment when Laguna Seca comes up in Forza Motorsport 7, it's happened. There it is. We're gonna be racing Laguna Seca, boys. Good stuff indeed. Let's go. Right, turn 1, Formula Mazda. It's like a big go-kart kind of thing, or a small Formula 1 car, if you like. So we've got all the big boys in front. Racers, Force 1, Williams, Mitch, and let's see if we can take the fight to them. Probably won't, but you know, let's give it a go. I'm bashing Williams, Mitch, giving him a hard time, letting him know I am around. And all that's doing is really just dropping us off the tail of Racers, Force 1. Not sure what's happened to JSR Rossi at this point. Maybe rage quit, or he's just getting bundled about in the mid pack. Who knows? Okay, so through here, Williams Mitch actually a little bit wide. We're going to go for a move on the 3rd best player in the world to take 3rd place. Oh my god, it's happening right now. Up the inside, a little bit too late, and oh god, yeah, over the gravel. It was good while it lasted though. I could say I overtook him for 2 seconds at least. This is later in the race, lap 3 now. You see the top 3 really just pulled away. They are just another level class above. And now Quattro putting the pressure on like Tottenham. Let's see if he can get past me. But look at this, I was really hooked up. It took me about 4 laps to really get to grips with this car. But eventually, picking up some nice corners here. Coming through very, very well indeed. And that's the thing, as I said earlier, adaptation. You need to be able to get the right braking points very quickly and just learn how to drive each car without messing up too much. Because I think that's very noticeable. People mess up lap 1 a lot in this hopper, but then by lap 2, 3 they learn, and then the race settles down quite a lot. So if you can really just nail lap 1, not make too many mistakes, you'll beat a lot of people who do make those mistakes, and a lot of people do, including myself. Crossing the line, finished 4th, not too bad a result. And then the screen went black, I got sent to the realm. This guy just quit. I guess you can quit the Shadow Realm, I didn't know you can do that. And then the race just starts. Right, let's go lads. An absolute mess of a start. It's like unleashing or undoing your blindfold from Bird Box, and then you just unleashed into hell, which is Daytona. 4 laps with 21 sweaty lads in full GTs. That is the real threat. Okay, into the hairpin, and it's getting messy. Cones are flying, cars are flying, races are spun around. FRC drivers are just getting murdered left, right and centre. And I come through in 7th, going past Dainzel, up into 6th. There we go once again. I go through the sweeping left, and well, kind of just went through there a little bit too quick. And by a little bit, I mean way too quick. Like, it wasn't a little bit too quick, it was just like 50 miles an hour too quick. So I've got to learn that. You do have to brake for that turn, so we know that now. This is the thing, just learn. We know what happened, we went wide, okay, can't go through there flat out, so don't go through there flat out. So settling into 7th, now coming through here, I was going on the brakes a little bit too late. Go for a savage dive bomb across the grass, which is borderline illegal, or well, just actually illegal. So I'm going to let these guys go back past. Only fair thing to do, you know. And then into turn 1, go for another dive bomb on Quattro. We've been glued together for this race. Myself and Quattro. He's actually going to get a nice cut back there. Go back up the inside of myself and No One X04, who goes actually wide onto the grass. So into 7th, there's contact while we kind of settle down. Again, the new collision system really helping with that, not really getting spun around too easily. Let's see if we can take this corner properly now. So dab of the brakes, and we're through just fine. So yeah, we've actually learnt things today, well done. So if this race were to come up again, which it probably will at some point, I'm not sure how many different configurations there are in this hopper. Maybe, if I had to guess, maybe 30 or 40. I'm really not sure. 40 might be too many, but I'm not sure. You don't actually get too many races twice. As a Master Phil, a little bit wide, into the wall slightly, and then I'm back through into my favoured position. Can we go for a savage dive bomb on Quattro once again? No, we're going to brake a little bit earlier this time. And he's actually a little bit late to the corner, and we're going to get the nice cut back on him and overtake him on the way out instead. Now kind of all of this is kind of irrelevant anyway, because, well, going to turn 1 I braked pretty much dead on exactly where you need to. And coming through here, this is where things really began to unravel. Just going through the chicane, hit the wall, onto the grass. At this point I was like, oh god, I'm just going to bail out there. And do a side flip! And it didn't quite work. That side flip though, it did put us back in time, because now we're racing Alfa Romeo P3s. We'll get shunted around at turn 1, unfortunately going from 4th down to 16th here. And with racers, now watch this, because this is what top level FRC drivers can do. He can just conjure magic from nowhere, so he's 14th here. And just look how he just absolutely abuses this group. Cleanly goes through, up into 9th, in the space of literally 2 corners, about 5 seconds, 14th to 9th. Just no sweat at all. But it all goes downhill for him here as he comes through onto the banking, and it just gets all out of shape into the wall. If there was actually real life damage there, I think we would have all died, because obviously these old F1 cars are not very safe. Crossing the line, 9th. Okay, we move to the final race of the video. It's been an interesting one. It's been good fun. Starting 6th once again into turn 1, BMW M4 this time around. Just hooking up with the apex, nice tight line on the way out, just coming across to settle into our 5th position. So we've gained 1, see if we can gain any more. So Force 1 up in the lead there. He's just going to move over to the right hand side and bail out. I think he wants a bit more fun here, a bit of a challenge, try to pass as many people as possible, because he would have just run away with that by a long way. It's a bit more fun trying to overtake people, I suppose. So around the outside of Master Phil, side by side then into the turn 5 and 6 chicane, up by Noob Supremo and Dainzel. So normally we'd be fighting for 4th here, but it looks like Williams, Mitch, Force 1 and Racers a little bit further back, and we're going to get some contact from behind from the guy who actually escaped the Shadow Realm earlier. Miraculous stuff, he's returned to the realm of reality. Coming down towards the hairpin, another touch, very very touchy indeed, but we're going to keep the position. Oh yes, we are on the exit of the hairpin, so in 4th, and we can now turn our attention to catching up with this group of 3 ahead. By lap 2, Schumacher-esque, I've done it. But again, into the following chicane, and Noob Supreme a little bit wide there. I'm going to stick up my nose on the left hand side. It's going to force him narrow here. And on the exit, gets a little bit too eager on the throttle, drives a little bit wide into the gravel, loses momentum, loses plenty of time. I'm up into third. And then through the arena complex, final lap of 3, small touch on Master Phil, Danesel into the wall on the apex, easy to do, and he's going to lose chunks of time and precious momentum as Master Phil now looks around the outside. He did that move against me on lap 1. Can he repeat it? No, he can't. Coming down through turn 5 into turn 6, the right-hander coming down then towards the hairpin. Great overtaking opportunity. Master Phil may well go for one here as he has the superior run. Danesel coming across, strong defensive moves. It's free abreast into the chicane, into the hairpin. I'm going to try to go around the outside here. We've all been glued together with PVA, and it's not going to work. I'm going to lose loads of momentum. Force 1 there in 4th, coming back from wherever he slowed down to at the beginning. Good recovery from him. And okay, here we go then. 4 cars looking for the lead into the final chicane on the last lap. Let's see how this one gets resolved. Hazel goes defensive, moves to the left hand side. Master Phil again ducking and weaving, going right, going left. I'm looking for a good exit to make sure Force 1 doesn't come up the inside on the way out. I'm going to cover him off. He's going to go to the left hand side. Just really have to park on the apex here. He's going to have to go the long way round. Maybe he would have done very well to manage that. So ultimately we are going to come up to the line here, and it's going to be the same order as it was going into that final chicane. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Not changing, so we all kind of played it safe as we crossed the line, except, well, Force 1 flipping his car over the line. That's not particularly safe, if I'm honest, but before that it was all rather safe. But there we go. I do hope you enjoyed the video as always. I really enjoyed this, you know. I'm going to be playing this hopper quite a lot. All fun and games here on Forza Motorsport. Really enjoying this hopper, and I definitely recommend giving it a go if you haven't tried it already. But there we go. Thank you so much for watching as always. Let me know your thoughts on the video, and I shall see you next time. Goodbye.
Listen.